Hi everyone, I'm Tommy.
I'm Mackenzie.
And welcome back to Backstage Thoughts. We're going to be giving you two more stories today from our time spent as cast members. I think Kenzie's going to go first. I'll go second. Take it away.
So I was working at Caribbean Beach quick service restaurant, and I was in the dining room just gathering up the trash. I had gone outside to check the trash bins and get the trays and bring them back in when a guy stopped me and he said, "Hey, I think I threw my phone away in this garbage bin. Is there anything we can do about that?" And I said, "Yeah, let me go get some gloves and I'll try to find it for you." So I walk inside, I grab gloves, I go back out, he's still standing there, and I open up the trash can. It's not right on top where he thought it would be. I was like, maybe it could have fallen.
I think the correct answer would have been, yeah, let me go get some gloves and you can look through the trash, because it's your mistake, not mine.
But anyway, I'm like digging through the trash trying to find his phone. I was like, is there anywhere else it could be? It doesn't look like it's in here. Mind you, he is by himself. So, like, there's no one around that can call his phone to see if it, like, rings or anything in the garbage. He's like, well, we did use that trash can inside right there. So I go inside, I pull out that trash can, I start digging through that one. And then his wife and two kids walk up, and they're like, "We have your phone. It's been with us the whole time." So I dug through the trash for nothing.
Is that in your job description? Like,
dig through the trash to find people's stuff? Probably not.
No, so, sorry, you're on your own.
Didn't even get a cast compliment from it.
Well, yeah, he didn't have a phone. How was he going to give it to you? So I worked at Pirates of the Caribbean, and our ride didn't really get busy. It's a very efficient ride, right? We get people through really quickly. We have dispatches every like 20 seconds or so. So although it's a popular attraction, it usually maxes out at like a 60-minute wait. Like, it's very difficult for the wait to get super long. But on this one particular day, for whatever reason, everyone decided to ride Pirates at the same time. And we had a considerable line. Like, it got really crazy really quick. And as a result of that, it got crazier in ways that I didn't even know was possible up until this point. So I'd been working at Pirates for a couple of months up until this point. Like, I'd been there for a while. It's not like I was brand new. This was probably April. We got there in January. So I had seen quite a bit at this point. Obviously, you never see it all. You think you've seen it all, and then something like this happens. But yeah, what was about to happen in the next, like, 15-minute span was the most ridiculous sequence of events I have ever seen while working at Disney. So I am in one of the wheelchair positions. There are 3 wheelchair positions at Pirates, and essentially your job is to take guest wheelchairs from load area to the unload area. A lot of rides, especially newer rides, this is a much simpler process because they kind of have that in mind when they're designing the queue and the building layout and stuff like that. For Pirates, it is a chore. Essentially, what you have to do is take the wheelchairs from the load area, you walk partway through the queue, you go out that door, that brings you backstage. Then you walk a little bit backstage back towards where the park is. You go through that door that you may have seen cast members going through before. It's the area if you're facing Pirates, it's to the left of Pirates, where like those 2 big gate doors are, and then there's a little door to the side of it that you sometimes see cast members going through. You go through that door, you have to walk all the way around the front of the attraction, through the crowds of people, past the sign that says Frontierland, so you kind of technically go into Frontierland. You make that left where the bathrooms are, like in the Pirates gift shop, and then the women's bathroom is here. Right next to it, there's a little alleyway. That alleyway leads to an elevator. You go down that elevator, it brings you to unload. And that elevator is the same elevator that people in the wheelchairs take to get out of the ride instead of going up the ramp. But anyway, the whole point of this aside is basically to tell you that because I was doing wheelchair, I was kind of running back and forth, right? I wasn't staying in one spot. I was going back and forth, and I was constantly going through that backstage area in order to get to and from where I needed to bring the wheelchairs. Apparently, when lines get too long and people don't feel like waiting or they have to go to the bathroom, they kind of ignore signs that say "do not enter" or "not an exit" or "cast member only" or "emergency exit only." Apparently, any door is an exit in some people's mind. You know, and I'd heard stories about Flight of Passage when it first opened. You know those bathrooms that are in the queue in Flight of Passage? Those weren't there when the ride opened. The reason those were instituted's not really the right word. Erected. That's a fun word. The reason those bathrooms were added was because people kept going into a cast member only door, into a backstage area, going to the bathroom on the floor, and then hopping back in line. Anyway, in this 15-minute span, when our line got a little bit long, a whole bunch of people decided they wanted out. And instead of turning around and going out the way they came in, they decided to go out the closest door they saw. So I see the first person come out as I'm taking a wheelchair, and I'm like, hey, you aren't supposed to be here. This is a backstage area. It's for cast members only. How did you get here? And they're like, that door? I'm like, okay. Please don't go through doors that say cast members only. If you want to exit, you have to go out the entrance. And they're like, yeah, whatever. Grumble, grumble. I'm angry and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, that's annoying. Whatever. I go, I drop off the wheelchair. I come back. There's another person back there. Same thing. How'd you get here? I went through that door. I'm like, okay, well, you shouldn't be doing that. Please don't do that. It says cast members only for a reason. You can't be back here. This person's even angrier than the first person. Like, okay, yeah, whatever. So I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed at this point. The next batch of wheelchairs comes. I go to take them out. I walk out the door, and I see an adult male with a child male, probably 5, pants down. Backstage, right out that door, behind Pirates, peeing into the bushes. And Dad just kind of standing there. He's like, come on, hurry up. We got to get back in line, as his kid's peeing in the bushes. And I have no idea how to react to this situation. This is not something that came up in training. So I just kind of walk up to him, and I'm like, I don't even remember. I don't know if I even said words. I think it was just kind of like frustrated, confused sounds coming out of my mouth. And I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, he had to pee. I'm like, okay, go to the bathroom. He's like, well, he really had to go. Okay, go to the bathroom. You can't just pee wherever you want to pee. You're not a wild animal. I also forgot to mention that during this interaction, his wife poked her head out of the door that they had come out of to like check in and see what was taking so long. So not only did the father not see anything wrong with this, apparently the wife didn't either. And he's like, well, we can't get out of line. And I'm like, what do you mean you can't get out of line? You are out of line. He's like, no, my wife's still in there. We're going back. I'm like, no, you're not. You are not going back in there. And he's like, he starts yelling at me and getting angry at me. He's like, he had to pee. What do you want me to do? I'm like, I want you to get out the way you came in, go to the bathroom, and then if you go to the bathroom, I would let you back in. I would let you back in the line to go meet up with your wife. But because you decided to go through the cast member only door, pee on the ground, completely unsanitary, completely unhealthy. This was still like COVID scare time. And now you think I'm going to let you back in through the cast member only door that you came out of to meet back up? Absolutely not. Get out of here. And then I'm like, I have no idea what to do now. And I'm fuming at this point. I am pissed. So I go to my coordinator that I happen to, as I'm like walking this guy out, I see my coordinator and I tell him what just happened. And like this guy's already gone by then. So he calls custodial. Someone has to now come and clean up this pee. They had to like take like a bunch of water and try to like wash it down like into the soil or something. And I'm still pissed. Like I'm a combination of pissed and stressed because all these people just kept coming. Like that was the third person in a span of 10 to 15 minutes that I saw back there. So I walk back in. I walk over to the podium, like the load podium, the load station, and I grab the mic, the intercom mic. Well, not even the intercom mic. It's not the one that, like, calls other positions in the ride. It's the one that, like, you can speak in and it goes to the entire queue of the ride. And I have never touched this before. There are people that, like, every 10 minutes will grab it and I'll spiel and I'll say something like, ahoy there, crew. In order for us to best accommodate you, please keep your party together. If you're traveling with a wheelchair today, please place that person at the front of your party, blah, 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 blah. I never do that. So for the first time ever, I grab this microphone and I go, ahoy there, crew. If you feel the need to exit for any reason, please turn around and exit the way you came in. Please do not walk through the doors that say cast members only. They are not exits. I repeat, if you need to leave for any reason, please turn around and go out the way you came in. Do not walk through the cast member only doors. Thank you. And I put it back down. And that seemed to have fixed the issue, and it was not something that ever happened again. It was just a period. It was like, you know when people are like, oh, it must be a full moon?
Yeah.
It was one of those things. Like, where did this come from? Why is this happening? The only other time I've seen people in that backstage area, like, come out of those cast member only doors and go in that area is when the ride shuts down. And that we anticipate happening, because people are like, everyone has to leave, right? And it's a whole, like, it's a process to get out there. So people see a door and they're like, all right, let's just go out this way. So that we anticipate, and we have people actually stationed out there to yell at people when they do that. But this was unlike anything I've ever seen before. So yeah, when people ask me, what is the craziest thing you saw while working at Disney World? Someone peeing at Magic Kingdom is always my answer. That's it for us today. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed these stories. If you want to hear more of our cast member stories, because trust me, we have more, hit that subscribe button. We will be uploading more. Thank you again, and we'll see you guys next time.